Hello, scumbags. This is Vote of No Confidence again on the Rebel Scum YouTube channel, guys. It is Last Jedi time. It's already been out for a little while now. You guys have had plenty of times to see it. So again, this is spoiler talk. This is a spoiler topic, of course, on the Last Jedi. So as per usual, I have a guest. Somebody has to debate the other side with me about this topic, and my guest today is, of course, James Razile, one of the OG members of the Rebel Scum podcast. James, how you doing? Did you enjoy Last Jedi?
I'm good. I did enjoy it. This is my first time I voted no confidence. I'm kind of excited. Look, I got my Praetorian Guard shirt going on.
I see the Praetorian Guard in the background too. That's a Where's Waldo for you fans. You guys see the Praetorian Guard? What's beside him? Executioner. There you go.
Phantom Menace comic book. You can't go wrong with any of this stuff.
Absolutely. As much Star Wars gear as you can get, that's the best stuff usually. So, as per usual, we always talk about a topic. And, of course, this is post-Last Jedi, so a spoilery topic. James, what's our topic for today?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Today is, look, the most controversial scene in the movie, perhaps, is when Kylo Ren kills Snoke. We flipped a coin. I flipped a coin. And you got Snoke is dead. He's gonzo, and I got he's coming back because JJ can resurrect whatever he wants.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny that your coin of fate chose the topic that I wish the side that I wish was least true, that he is dead. But yeah, it was it's no spoiler alert for me. It's my probably least favorite scene in the movie, and yeah. I'm going on the side of Snoke is dead, and simply the fact that what we saw in that scene where he just got split in half, it just happened. He's gone. He's dead. Like, you know, I don't know if he can put himself back together like Darth Maul or get himself some mechanical legs for Episode 9. But as of right now, like, getting split in half is pretty decisive. And again, I think it'll be a weird cop out again too if they did a Darth Maul metal legs reveal.
I don't think he's going to get metal legs whatsoever, but I have to argue. I think he'll be back. I would like it if he was just dead. But I'm not going to say my thoughts on anything. I'm going to go with what the coin of fate has told me, and it is that Snoke is not dead. And I'm going to tell you right now why he is not dead. First of all, you just brought up Darth Maul. Darth Maul, he came back in animated form. I don't think they'd pull that stunt in live action. However, we know nothing about Snoke. We know there's much more about Snoke after seeing The Last Jedi than we did before seeing The Last Jedi, and that little bit is that he was an extremely, extremely powerful Force user. He shot lightning. He can spin Rey around the room. You know, he made Hux through a hologram fall on the floor. He is an extremely powerful Force user, one that we have not seen the likes of before, and that raises an interesting question. Can he be simply killed by being split into two? Now, people have a problem with that, but the reality is Kylo used his energy to turn that saber and turning it also on Rey at the same time. And so that's why that you can argue is why Snoke was unable to sense what he was doing, because Kylo Ren himself manipulated his feelings and what he was doing, so that Snoke would actually be misguided by it all, and that is why Kylo Ren is the Supreme Leader now. But anyway, so look, we see at the end of the film that Luke Skywalker is able to mentally teleport a manifestation of himself to another planet and engaged in a somewhat lightsaber fight with Kylo Ren. And if we are led to believe and to understand that Luke Skywalker can do that, and we have this character of Snoke Skywalker who is just as powerful as Luke, but with the dark, or maybe even a little bit on both sides, why can we not presume that he can also do the exact same thing? And in that manifestation, what if he wants Kylo, or what if he wants Rey to see Kylo, his dead corpse, and so he manifests a two-parter of his own body and stays there on the ground? Now, you're going to go into arguments why that's not going to be the case, but look, this is what the coin gave me, and this is my argument to support it.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess one of the key things about just Luke and the way that he did it, it was really just an astral projection, right? He just projected himself, so he wasn't physically there. Like, you know, you couldn't stab or hurt the being in any type of way. With Snoke's case, you know, he cut through the lightsaber.
Did he though?
Well, if it's
a projection, he could project it in a way that it looks like he's being cut into half.
Sure, I suppose he could, but again, what would his goal in that be? Just to what? Make him?
It could be to see what happens if Kylo took over. It could be to trick Rey to see if they can get Rey to join Kylo Ren. There could be many, many possibilities to all of it.
Mm-hmm. No, I suppose that's possible, but again, part of this whole astral projection thing is the fact that, again, not only does he not get causing damage, he can't cause any damage there. And you just mentioned that earlier in that very same moment, he did the not the very same moment, but he did use the Force Lightning on Kylo as well. So
but we don't know if Luke could have done that or not because Luke doesn't use Force Lightning that we know.
Yeah, it would be the funny thing.
I mean, he was able to manifest dye out of nothing and make it physical for Leia to touch and hold.
That is interesting. Yeah, I guess the weird thing about Last Jedi altogether, it's kind of like pushed the envelope as to what you thought that not only, well, again, Force ghosts can do, but also what people can do with the Force, which is just an interesting thing. But again, in general, with Snoke and his death scene in this movie, it's the fact that he was cut in half and whatnot, but again, it seemed awfully evident that just he was dead, and if he in some way had just set that up in some type of way where he just wanted Kylo to react in some type of way or Rey to react in some type of way, I don't know why he wouldn't reveal himself earlier then.
Because it's the third movie.
Sure, within the logistic of the movie, but I just mean within the knowledge of the character. If he what he really wanted was Kylo to officially, embrace the dark side and to do something very Sith-like and kill his teacher, right? Which is something that's like you can go back a lot of different characters. A through line is that there are only two for the Sith, and one to crave the power, right? That's the wording. I'm paraphrasing, but it's like one to crave the power, and then usually one of them kills the other, right? That's what a lot of times happens.
It's a good thing Kylo and Snoke aren't Sith then.
It's true. Yeah, it's an interesting thing because I guess one of the altogether with Force Lightning was that a lot of people just call it Sith Lightning, right? But really, I guess that's just a manifestation of the dark side in general. But I'm just saying, within this topic, it's like, if that's what he wanted Kylo to do, to just strike him down and embrace the dark side, why not show himself afterwards? Why allow Kylo to become the supreme leader and not take his power back? Because part of the thing was that he also wanted to put Kylo in his place in some type of way. He wanted him to embrace the dark side, but he also still, for the most part, wanted to be the supreme leader, right?
I think because the further Kylo goes down this path, the darker he gets, the further away from the light he gets, and Snoke can then use that when he comes back. Because it looks like Snoke is more powerful in the Force than Kylo. So if you let Kylo believe that he's supreme leader and go, and you come back and you're like, you can't kill me, I am invincible, then he can take over that way. You let Kylo, because it's all Kylo's ego, right? He's conflicted. He strikes down his master. Ooh, is that going in the light side? No, because then he ends up being like, let's rule the galaxy ourselves. And Rey's like, you're crazy. No. So now Snoke sees all of that. He lets Kylo take over, and then Snoke can come in at the end and punch him in the face, because also we're all forgetting that J.J. Abrams is doing episode 9, and J.J. Abrams created Snoke. And do you think J.J. Abrams created Snoke so he would just die like that in episode 8? Maybe. But my coin flip told me otherwise, so absolutely not.
It just seems like it would be like the biggest of retcons, especially in the way that they just left it out in this type of way.
I would definitely disagree with that. I think you could definitely do it in a way where he's like, no. Because just like you just planted as that's part of the story. Part of the story is Snoke's not dead, and him coming back is part of the story. That is not retconning. That's just part of the story.
Yeah, but usually, like, there should have been some type of thread or some type of nod that really didn't happen, that this scene didn't really happen.
But the thing is, the problem with this one is this is the middle movie of the trilogy now. So now the end, and this movie only takes place in 18 hours. So if you figure he kills Kylo, they go to Crate, that right there is like, a 5-hour span, Snoke is still waiting to come back. And think about it. If Snoke is this form where he's all disfigured and he needs to put himself together, it's going to take some time to do that. He could still be lingering. Retconning would be if they went back and like, well, the blade never actually cut through me, that would be a retcon. But that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, but I still feel like retconning would be the fact that you presented something within this movie that seems like it's just full on there, and that this happened, and then you change what happened in episode 9.
But not if it's a progression, it's not a change. There's a difference between progression and change. A change is what I just said about killing him with a lightsaber. The progression is, oh no, that was a test. You passed or failed said test. Now we have to accomplish our goal. There's a difference there.
Yeah, but there's also there is, and of course that's a way of just changing what happened, or in some type of way, or at least visually.
Look,
changing
The
what
Last
happened.
Jedi is sorry to cut you off, but the Last Jedi is a series of nothing going the way it's supposed to go. Like every time something happens, there's a twist on every single plot point, to the point of it could be annoying if you actually break it down. Like if you think about it, every single thing that happens is like, this is going to happen. Nope, twist. Like every single time something happens. The only thing is, the Snoke twist is instead of killing Rey, it's him. But it's like the Nora Wexley in Aftermath. There's like every scene plays out like Nora Wexley in Aftermath. You think she's dead. Oh no, she's back. She's dead. No, she's back. Every single thing happens like that. And so the one that doesn't have any like that is Snoke. Snoke dies. So if episode 9 follows suit with episode 8, then all of a sudden that coming is right on the path of what we've been shown in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, but again, that would be something that JJ would be carrying on of what Rian Johnson was doing. And again, I've made it fairly clear with myself. Like, I feel like this movie just had too many twists and turns and types of twists and turns for the need of just doing twists and turns to try to make this an extremely complicated story. It's something to have you on edge at all times. And for them to do it in this type of way, like you were mentioning the whole what's a retcon and what's not a retcon thing. Is Maul's death in Phantom Menace a retcon?
In Clone Wars?
Well, which came to Clone Wars. Because of course, he returns in Clone Wars.
I think it's a nothing because he's not. If he came back in a film, then we have to look at it. But I think it's the progression. They decided to progress this story. So I'm going to say no, it's not a retcon.
It's not a retcon? Okay. Because I'm speaking in these terms that I believe that, number one, in Phantom Menace, George Lucas intended that to be his death. At that time,
it is his death because I still separate the TV stuff. Everything is separated. The films are, and you talk to the story group. The films are what matters, and he doesn't come back in the films, so there's no retconning there. This would be huge for a film.
No, yeah, but I'm just getting to that fact because I full on believe that in Rian Johnson's mind, this was supposed to be Snoke's death because, again, it was a realization to what the Sith do. Again, we're saying they're not Sith, but
we're not saying they're telling us.
They're not Sith. Sure, yeah. But we just said it within this conversation, and I'm saying that even though they're not Sith, there is obviously some type of a lot of similarities between the Sith and whatever you want to call what Snoke and Kylo are. There's a lot of comparison. Just bad guy force, bad guy dark side users or dark side people. So somebody in the comments below just type in a better name for that than what I just did. But still, there's a lot of similarities there, and I feel like this we're seeing Snoke, and in a lot of ways he's decrepit. He's dying. He looks like he was ready to just fall over and die on his own without being stabbed in the chest there. So maybe a part of what he just wanted in general was the fact that he wanted Kylo to embrace that dark side by doing a very Sith-like thing and craving the power and killing his master, which is something that many of the greatest Sith lords have done, right? Palpatine killed Plagueis, right? Like that's and he's like one of the most talked about Sith lords of all time. And I think to just embrace that fact and fully embrace the dark side in that type of way, where he does something that's very Sith-like and very dark side user-like, is in his own way embracing his destiny in terms of Kylo. So I feel like that's what that scene was. we could still find out that Snoke's plan was for him to kill him, because that dialogue that he says is like, where I'm paraphrasing, of course, where it's just like, I can see it. I can see your lightsaber turning towards your intended target and turning on and killing it. Do it now. Again, I'm fully paraphrasing that. That's not exactly how he said it, but that's what he was saying. And I still feel like what he was saying there was that he knew that he was about to kill him.
Yeah, because he knows he's going to come back in 9.
Yeah, so okay, it's an interesting part. Guys, comment below what's a retcon, what's not a retcon. Let us know what you think about this.
I think look, if they laid out the story, they say Snoke's in this one, Snoke's going to be in this one, Kylo's going to kill him, and then the 9th one you're going to find out what happened to Snoke. That's not a retcon. That was their story all along. Right.
And yeah, well, the tricky thing about this entire thing is that all these movies are being written by different people. Like JJ, of course, had his part to play on both episode 7 and episode 9, but it's a weird thing where it just kind of feels like these movies are connected but aren't entirely connected. Like, again, we have so many people, so many characters that were supposed to be certain places, and like, there's so many characters in the last Jedi that weren't in The Force Awakens, and so many characters that were in The Force Awakens that weren't in The Last Jedi. I'm just speaking simply like just the Resistance base. Like, where's Snap Wexley? Why wasn't he helping out?
He's at the Outer Rim with the crew from Battlefront Resurrection.
He's there with Iden Versio's daughter. Yeah. Yeah. But either way, that is our topic about this, debating about whether Snoke is really dead. I mean, I'm not saying that he could not come back. He could still come back. There's a lot more to learn about Snoke. There's a lot more to understand about his power and how he did certain things, how he's capable of doing that type of stuff. So there's plenty of Snoke story to come, but that doesn't mean that this story has to be told that he's alive. There's backstory and there's ways to find that out. So again, comment below, guys. Let us know what you guys think. Vote what you guys think is the correct option. Do you think that he's dead? Do you think that he's not dead? Is there a way that he could come back in episode 9 actually alive, or is there a way that he could just come back as in flashbacks, or maybe a Force ghost? I heard somebody mention that, but then suddenly something else came to my mind. If he comes back as a Force ghost, why didn't he just die like all other people do that become Force ghosts, right? So I don't think the Force ghost theory is true, right, James? You agree with me there?
I don't know, because we know Qui-Gon somehow lingers around, and we know that he's also dark side. So maybe a dark side Force ghost dies. He has to go through pain before he can become a Force ghost, so his body can't disappear yet.
Yeah, because if he becomes a Force ghost, he would probably be the first ever dark side Force ghost, and of course, to our knowledge, the first ever light side Force ghost is Qui-Gon Jinn, I suppose, because he had to figure it out. So perhaps in some type of way, Snoke's going to figure it out after his death. If he's dead, again, that's what this whole topic is. So again, all other Force ghosts that came after Qui-Gon just disappeared, right? And Snoke did not disappear. But regardless, that's a different topic, whether he could become a Force ghost. Maybe we'll talk about it one day on Vote or No Confidence again. But James, thank you for joining me again. James, where can we find you?
You can find me everywhere at Pet Safina. It was fun. I hope he's dead. I want to see more Snoke, and I wish that he just wasn't dead. I wish that scene just never happened in that movie. So I like that. I like that he got killed. I just think we need to know a little bit more about him.
Yes,
but that's a topic for another day.
Yes, absolutely. We'll talk about it again, and we'll get more rage from me on that whole Snoke scene. I'm sure I'll be raging out on different types of areas on Rebel Scum about this scene. But regardless, as per usual, I am Rob McDonald. You can find me at Robert E. McDonald on Twitter and Facebook. And I'm right in the middle of it. I'm almost there on Stardust. I got my 25 days of Christmas, countdown to Christmas. Almost there. It's really been a long haul. 25 movies is a lot to get through. So yeah, we're right there. We're almost done. And Christmas is almost here. It's the greatest time of the year. Right, James?
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So thank you for watching. As always, comment below. Let us know what you guys think. And as per usual, may the Force be with you.
Always.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.